morning, boys. Today we are going to begin with the second part of the lesson, the environment and us. In the first part, we saw about what is environment and the two factors, that is deforestation and pollution. In the deforestation, we saw which are the things which causes deforestation and the pollution. Now let's see which points which we are going to cover in this particular part. The need to maintain environmental balance, our needs and the environment, and global efforts for the protection of the environment. So, these three factors we are going to cover up in this part 2. Let's see the need to maintain environmental balance. Due to human intervention in nature, large scale changes are taking place in the air, water, and land. Also, these non living or abiotic components are getting polluted. As a result, the existence of living things is threatened, while several living things have already become extinct. If one factor of the environment is damaged, its relationship with other factors also get affected and environmental balance is disturbed. So what happens exactly here? Due to human intervention in the nature, that is what the various things or developments which are taking place in the nature, that is in the air, on the land and water, non-living things or abiotic components are getting polluted. As a result, what happens is living things life is getting into danger. Several living things have already become extinct. If you see some of the animals which are rarely seen, their species have become extinct. Extinct means become decreased. If some of the factors of the environments are damaged, that is in the food chain, if you see any one of the factor is being missed out, the whole food chain gets affected. So if one of the environment is damaged, factor in the environment is damaged, its relationship with other factors also gets affected and environmental balance is disturbed. From time to time, some of the living things on the earth become extinct. But today, this process is taking place a much faster rate. This is a threat for the whole world. So, what is happening? Because of these food chain which is getting affected, what is happening is the entire one of the factor is getting damaged, the entire food chain is getting affected, and so ultimately everybody in the world is getting affected. So in the olden days, this process was little slower, but now if you see, the process is taking place at a faster rate. So this is a threat for the whole living world. That is what is told. If you see the pictures over there, our needs and the environment. If the different types of plants and animals become extinct one by one, many of the links in the different food chains will be lost. Many scientists believe that this will affect the entire living world on the earth and the balance in nature will collapse. So, that is what is the prediction done by the scientists. Food, water, and clothes are the needs of all people. We use a lot of things to meet these needs. Besides, we use many means and devices for the purpose of studies, sports, hobbies, and entertainment. We even stock up these things so that they will be available to us whenever we need them. All these things are obtained by using materials from our environment. All the people in the world have similar needs and desires. As a result, the environment is being degraded rapidly. So, what is happening? We need to be aware and that we ourselves are a part of nature. If the balance of environment is disturbed, it will adversely affect human beings too. So that is what is happening now. If you see in the lockdown period, as you came to know that all the malls and the shops will be closed for many months, all the people went into the DMarts, into the Reliance Fresh, for getting all the stocks of all the necessities which are required in their houses, and they made a stock in their house. So if such thing happens with everybody, what will happen is people will lack for the needs, basic needs which are available. And ultimately it will affect the environment. And when it affects the environment, it will directly affect the human beings too. We need to take steps to prevent this degradation of the environment. The steps should mainly include use our means frugally and recycling used articles. Such measures should be practiced sincerely by each and every person. So this particular problem which is arising in the world now, that is lack of basic necessities, because each and everybody wants the same needs, wants the same necessity. So what happens, the availability of this necessity becomes less, and then what happens is, because of more and more things which are required, it tries to depend on the environment. So when it goes to the environment, it affects the environment, that is cutting down of the trees, cutting down of the forest. And so when this is affected, animal life is affected. When animal life is affected, human beings are affected, means each and everybody is dependent on each other. So we need to be aware that we ourselves are a part of the nature. Understood? So when we try to store more and more things in our house, we should first think that we are a part of a nature. We need to take steps to prevent this degradation of the environment. The steps should mainly include using our means frugally and recycling used articles. You can see the picture over there of the recycling of the article, waste minimization. This logo is seen on all the plastics things which you use in your houses. So what happens when you try to drink soft drinks, cold drinks, you try to throw the bottles, these bottles which are made up of plastic, when you try to recycle them, while recycling, a lot of pollution is being caused because of this plastic which is being burnt. So they try to recycle it so that we can reuse it again and again instead of avoiding this pollution. So that is how we can make a different, we can try to find out or sort out the steps which can help the degradation of the environment. Such measures should be practiced sincerely by each and every person. Understood? So each and every, it's a responsibility of each and every person. Each and every person should not forget that they are a part of the nature, and if the balance of the nature is disturbed, it will adversely affect human beings too. So don't become selfish. Try to think that you are not the part of the your own family, but you are the part of the entire nature. So when nature affects, it will ultimately affect you also. So let us resolve. Let us all ensure that no action on our part will cause pollution or cause harm to living things. Let us make all possible efforts for the conservation of the living world. You may be knowing that in our school you are having an eco club. Why this awareness is being created in the children in the schools, so that people or the children becomes aware which are the things which are being taken by the government, measures taken by the government, which are the efforts which you can do to try to recycle all these things. So whenever this eco club members comes in your school, in your class, to get some collection of newspapers or waste or plastic, try to give them, because they are trying some efforts to make an environmental balance. Understood? So don't forget this. So always try to take an initiative of yourself, that you will try to change the environment, you will try to help them. Global efforts for the protection of the environment. Several projects are being implemented at the international level to maintain the balance in nature. It is important to raise the awareness of people all over the world about the threat to environmental balance. Many countries of the world are enacting laws that will help to prevent the pollution of air, water, and soil. So now the government has also taken various steps and various measures for preventing the pollution of air, water, and soil. So they are trying us to create an awareness to plant more and more trees as much as possible, because trees are the only one who which can control the environmental balance, which can control this global warming. So do not cut the trees, but try to plant more and more trees as well as possible, so that your environment remains green and clean. Understood? So that is what during Republic Day, during Independence Day, various schools tries to do the plantation of the trees in their house. We'll stop till here. Next part of the video will continue in the part 3.